You can support this show at patreon.com/ASAPodcasting. Welcome to a Skyrim Addict podcast, where I will discuss my adventures and misadventures through Skyrim. Join me. Add your stories, add your tales. Let's get into this thing. Hello, everyone. So this is actually going to be a roundtable episode, but I was unable to make the roundtable. The first day we tried to do it, there were some technical issues, and the second day I was unavailable. So I'll just go through what my character did in a moment. Some show-related news. So Blake from formerly 9 Nights podcast, now of Max Level podcast. So basically going to be, he's doing a kind of like I guess it'd be a network or whatever you want to call it, podcast studio type thing. So set up a page over on metalsharkstudio.blogspot.com for Skyrim Addict, just a way to kind of drive traffic back and forth, hopefully. Shouldn't really change anything else other than that. So that'll be cool. Hopefully more listeners each way. You know, I don't know. I guess that's the goal. I assume that's why we talk into microphones. I don't know. We'll see. But so this character, this is my roundtable character. So really, there'll be going back to the Metal Shark thing real quick. You'll hear a little sounder at the end of it and all that. And he does all the editing for the roundtable as well. I don't know. I'm trying to think. I don't think he made the last one either, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. I haven't listened yet. So actually, I'll be listening with everybody else. I'll be back with the normal show probably in about a few days. I'll probably hold off and maybe until a little bit into next week, just because just putting this one out on a Friday. I've been doing tons of playthrough on my Legendary Dawn Guard, so that's been a ton of fun. But all right, let me get into my roundtable character, otherwise known as Lord Tubbington. And for those of you who get that reference, you are welcome. So he's a Khajiit. Right now, I'm at level 24. I think I was putting 3 magicka, 2 health, 1 stamina. That was my, that's how I was supposed to balance them out for every 3, 2, and 1. So my magicka is actually up in the, it looks like I have some enchantments in the 250 range, health at 170, and stamina at 130. I have some enchantments on both the magicka and stamina. Not big ones. I'm not super strong in enchanting yet. So I'm focusing, my magic is supposed to be focusing on enchanting, and that I'm at 59 enchanting. And I believe I have a few of the perks. Let's see, scan through my, I took screen caps of what I got going on. So I'm kind of scanning through that. Sorry about that. And of course, I didn't take a proper screen cap of my enchanting, but I've put several into several perks in my enchanting one. How I've been playing it is, since block is my battle skill, and block, sneak, and enchanting. That's my 3 main skills that I'm supposed to get to 100 first. So, in each of the crafts, obviously. So sneak, I'm killing it because, you just sneak everywhere and you level up very quickly. I'm 64 sneak. Enchanting's really easy to level up quickly. It only slows down when you get like above 90, I noticed. So, I'm blowing pretty quickly through that. Illusion, I'm actually using quite a bit too, since I'm using the block. And I'm basically using a shield and one-handed magic. Sometimes I'm using a bow, not a ton. I'm just using it when I'm at a decent distance with some harder enemies. Like I'll weaken them, then let them come in and then bash them with a shield and hit them with some magic. recently I've just been going more magic because as you get stronger as a mage, I mean, really, you just start dominating people. I'll probably start doing a little bit of one-handed only because it'll help with my blocking. My blocking is only 30 right now. So I got to kind of do that. But the quests I've completed so far, I did, let's see, Unbound, obviously. Because if I didn't do that, I wouldn't be very far in the game, would I? Before the Storm, the Golden Claw, got Bleak Falls done, Dragon Rising. I joined the Legion because the Legion is my faction. I screwed up and went to Solitude because I thought I was supposed to get Winstead Manor as my house. And I wasn't even thinking. And for some reason, I just locked in on Solitude. I was like, I'll take care of this, blah, blah, blah. And then it's in Morthal. So I had to go work on that. But Jagged Crown took care of that as part of the Imperial quest line. And Wolf Queen, I kind of wandered into that one. That was part when I was in Solitude. I'm like, I'll get that manor that's not in this town that I forgot was in Morthal. It's actually closer to Solitude anyway, I think. And then I did the Break of Dawn. I'm going to go find the Pyrite Shrine, because I want to get the Spellbreaker shield, because that'll be awesome for my character the way he is. I'm not playing this one on Legendary. I've decided one Legendary character at a time is enough. So I'm playing, Expert or something like that. You know, not super easy, not super hard. Just pretty balanced one. That is not that character. Sorry. Other than that, it was a little different at first because of the blocking. That made it a little more difficult. I don't really block very much because I don't play one-handed. So it's been kind of a balance to get that blocking going. Here's some of my stats. I don't really usually go through these, but I think for this, I don't know what everybody else talked about, so I think for this I will. I've killed 76 people, so that's always good. Killed 43 animals, 10 creatures. 114 undead, because you can't stop killing undead. They're everywhere. Let's see. Apparently my favorite weapon is a glass sword. 92 critical strikes. Oh, that's not bad. I didn't know glass sword. Let's see what my favorite spell... Oh, my favorite spell, of course, is healing. Gee, I wonder why. And my favorite shout is Unrelenting Force, because I think that's all I have right now. I'm trying to think on that character. What do I... Oh, I think I have slow time on that one also. I think I may have gotten that one. I don't have it on my vamp character, on my Dawnguard character. I haven't killed any automatons because I have not gone in any dwarven places yet. So that's kind of where I'm sitting with that character. I'm having fun with it, rolling through it. I'm going to continue on because I think we're doing the next 3 main quest line quests for the next one for mid-June. So I'm going to continue on the Legion thing, go through the Legion storyline. Oh, and I did the murder mystery in Windhelm. I finished all that up. Oh, no. That was the other character. Sorry. Confused my characters. I did the murder mystery with my Dawnguard character. Yeah, so Lord Tubington has he's been working on his blocking. He's going to continue on the Imperial quest line and help the Legion. I think I'm just going to do mostly illusion and destruction in one hand and the shield in the other, which makes it kind of tough because it's hard to block when you're shooting people with magic from far away. So I'm definitely going to, maybe I'll do it like a bound weapon so that since I have to put 3 into my magicka for every 2 and 1 into health, which sucks for me because I hardly ever put anything in health. I find it, because of my playstyle, I find it useless. And if I'm like an archer, stamina very important because you can take those long shots and really zone in on them, hone in on them. And magicka important also if you're a mage or even if you're an archer because you can, heal or sneak, use your illusion. Use your illusion too. You can do invisibility, muffle, all that kind of thing. Calm spell, frenzy spell. Those are always helpful. So magicka and stamina are generally what I focus on for my typical playthrough characters. So that having to put into health is kind of changing things up for me a bit. And also using the shield, changing things up for me a bit. I'm trying to think if I had a helper I don't think I've been using a helper in that quest line. I have the, what's her name, Lydia. She's waiting around Dragon's Reach for me, but I haven't really used her. Other than that, I'm just grabbing stuff and doing the, doing the Imperial thing. So when I get back to that one, I probably won't get back to that one for another week or so. And then I'll get back in there. I'm actually in the middle of, I think I'm in the middle of some battle. So I'm sure when I jump back in, it'll be in some ridiculous place where I'm going to get my ass kicked. So that should be fun. Yeah, but I want to at least get a little leveled up so when I get further along in the Dragon Quest line that I'm not like get my butt kicked and all that jazz. So that's all I got for the roundtable stuff. See what these guys talked about. I think it's actually relatively long, so that should be a good time. I'm gonna have to probably listen to it over the weekend or something. So you can I'll say all this now. You can join the Facebook group. Got a nice, good discussion going on over there. Check out search Skyrim Addict Podcast on Facebook. It should pop up as one of the groups. If you could leave some iTunes feedback, that'll be awesome. Rating. If you're hopefully seeing the artwork, check out Maya Fire Prints on Etsy, MAIAFIRE Prints, and that's on. I got the link in the show notes. And also check out the new page for Skyrim Addict Podcast over on. Sorry, I was almost choking. I had a piece of cornbread and that can get very dry. Over at Metal Shark, let me make sure I get the exact link correctly because I don't want to say it incorrectly. It's metalsharkstudio.blogspot.com, I believe, /Skyrim Addict Podcast, but I will quickly look it up because I'm professional like that. Yeah, metalsharkstudio.blogspot.com. And you can find Max Level over there, as well as Skyrim Addict Podcast. And I believe he's going to be adding some other things to that. So hopefully that'll be cool. Get a little thing going there with more people. That's always a positive thing. Also, Ben, who I did an interview with from Expansive DLC, will be hopping on probably once a month, possibly doing news and other things about Elder Scrolls like that. So that'll be coming up soon too. Try and figure out schedule time zones, and all those things. And that's all I got, I believe. Trying to think if there's anything else before I go. Nope, I think that's it. Oh, you can email show skyrimapodcast@gmail.com too. All right, stay tuned for the roundtable episode. Take care.
Greetings, listener! Wait! I know you. Yes. From the road, Cicero never forgets a face. Me? Oh, Cicero is just the keeper. I keep. I look after our matron, you see, the Night Mother. I keep her clean and protected and happy. You, of course, know that the Night Mother is our unholy matron, the undying spirit of a great woman who birthed the children of Sithis and killed them in his honor. The Night Mother is part of you now. You get to hear voices inside your head.
Who's rapping? Overkeen. Dragons? I'm not overkeen. I'll dice them like a knife, slicing right through an aubergine. My dragon shout flow is sweeter than a soda stream. You won't believe your eyes. I'm like an overload of dopamine. A broadsword in one hand and a magic
Welcome
spell
to
in
the
other.
second episode of a Skyrim Addict Podcast Roundtable.
That's you, Andrew.
That's me. We are the show who compares and contrasts Skyrim experiences with a lively roundtable discussion by playing the same quest through characters with drastically different assigned attributes. Welcome, everyone. I'd like to go around the room really quickly, and if each person could please just state your first name and what city, state, or country you live in, and one of your favorite video games that you have played besides Skyrim recently. Colin, go ahead, brother.
Oh, hi, I'm Colin. I'm Irish, but I'm living in England, and probably one of my favorite games. I haven't been playing anything else recently. I only play Skyrim. Well, ESO, so it's very related, but it is a different game, so I'm claiming that. So ESO.
There you go. Sounds very good. Michelle, what have you got going on?
Well, I'm Michelle, obviously. You just said that. But I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. And truthfully, I don't play a lot of video games other than Skyrim because I guess I just don't have a lot of time. I barely can get in my Skyrim time. But the only thing that I've really played recently has actually been Braid. I've been playing a little bit of Braid.
I've heard a little bit about Braid. How are you enjoying your experience?
Oh, it's fantastic. It's a lot of fun. It's weird and entertaining, and my kids love watching me play it, so there's that aspect as well. So
great. That's awesome. Victor, what do you got going on?
Well, I'm Victor. I'm from the People's Republic of Massachusetts. I play a lot of Skyrim these days, but I've been playing games for a very long time. So one of my favorites from years ago was called Dungeon Master. I played it on my Amiga back in the late 80s. So that's an old game for you.
Very nice. The Amiga.
Yep.
Great. And I am Andrew. I live in Indiana. And one of my favorite old games was Zelda Wind Waker. I was a big fan of the Zelda Wind Waker game back in the day. And I still find myself playing through it every couple years or so. I will pop it back in and play it. I really like that game. And all the other Zelda games, too, are also pretty good. But that one stands out in my eyes.
I love Zelda.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
So, Victor, could you tell us your character's name and maybe the top 3 attributes that you were assigned randomly?
Sure. Slythe Aaron is his name. He's a Dunmer. And he's supposed to be a two-handed wielder. He specializes in enchanting and alchemy. And I've branched out a little bit from there, but that's for later on in the discussion.
Great. Colin, how about you, sir?
My name, a guy's name, he's a Nord, and his name is Gunvar Oakenmaster. And his main attributes are illusion for his magic and one-handed for his warrior skill. I haven't done too much with him. I've only done the 3 quests that were assigned and then got to Whiterun and then stopped. Because most of my stuff is inside Whiterun. So
that's great. Have you branched out to do any of the side anything else at all?
No, because nearly all of my stuff, like
is in
Whiterun, yeah.
That's great. And Michelle, what was your character's name?
Well, I'm trying to pull that up right now, actually. I apologize. My character is an Imperial called Ravenia Laicus.
Ravenia?
Ravenia, yes.
Nice.
Thank you.
Just tell us your character's name, their race, their sex, their sexual orientation, too, if you want.
Okay.
And the 3 main attributes, your mage, your thief, and your warrior skill.
Okay. So she's a female. Thus far unmarried, but I'm searching have found Rhea. I just have to actually marry her. And I've got archery, alteration, and lockpicking.
Archery, alteration, and lockpicking. Are you okay with those attributes? Do you like those?
Oh, yeah, whatever. Whatever you give me, I can manage it. It's fine. Currently, I really have not been able to play very much. I've only gotten through the first 3 quests as well. I think I'm a level 5 or 6. It's kind of terrible. But I'm hoping to get a little more time this week.
That is A-okay. No, I don't think any of us went past the first 3 quests.
Yeah, but literally I didn't do anything else. That's all I did was the first 3 quests. I didn't branch out or go look at much of anything else. So I'm sure you guys all kind of looked around and did other things.
No, I just done exactly the same thing because I knew I was going to forget everything.
Yeah, I was going to say Colin might be in the same boat as you. Well, my character is a female Red Guard, and her name is Mania Ababna. and I used a name generator to come up with that. And it seems to me, when I was trying to come up with some Redguard names, it seems like the Redguards might be the Middle Eastern race representative in the Tamriel universe. Victor, would that sound semi-accurate to you as well?
Pretty much. I think that's pretty accurate. I think there is the nod to a different racial identity. Absolutely.
Yeah. When I was doing the name generators, there was a lot of Middle Eastern sounding things popping up.
Yeah,
So Maria Ababna.
Yeah, the Alskaven is another. That's one of my other characters. He's a Redguard, and yeah, they're all very much that way.
Nice. Are there any other connections like that? Is there an obvious, like, oh, the Wood Elves are obviously the Irish. Look at their names. Everyone's named Liam.
Hey.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We can all tell who the Nords are like.
Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah, easily. That's true. That's very true.
I think they tried hard to make those things work, and also to stay away from too many stereotypes. I think they did a pretty good job of it.
Oh yeah, that's great. I was supposed to concentrate in two-handed, which is fine by me. That's generally how I've played before. I'm a really big fan of Warhammers, so I have no problem with doing two-handed fighting. Restoration is my magic skill, which is also fine. Totally one of the most useful schools, because if you're a two-handed guy, you get right up in people's faces, and they don't like that, so they smack you right back. So the restoration magic is really useful to me. And I've got the speech skill for my thief skill, which is also fine. I'm trying to intimidate and get into that, but my speech skill is not very high yet. So I've actually only succeeded once so far.
That's a really interesting combination.
See how that works as the game proceeds on. Restoration, speech, and two-handed.
I really wish that in some ways, I'd gotten one of the more sort of obscure, if you want to call them that, attributes instead of alchemy and enchanting. I enjoy those, but I do them all the time. It's really interesting to have to really work up something like speech or lockpicking.
Yes.
So. In the mods that I use, Skyrim in particular, speech has a branch to the tree that actually gives you some advantages. And shouting will increase your speech skills, which is kind of cool. I don't think that works that way in the vanilla game.
The shouts definitely don't help the speech that I know of. That's really cool. I like that. That's a good mod there.
Yeah, and you can take perks that will reduce the time between shouts and things like that. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, isn't that the Amulet of Talos that reduces the shout time?
Yes, it does. The Talos, so 10% reduction, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, that's really cool.
Isn't it in the vanilla game it's 20%, but in the Skyrim one it's 10%, I think.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that. So
interesting. So you're doing Skyrim as well, Colin?
Yeah, but not on the Roundtable character. I'm using the Xbox for the Roundtable character.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You said that last time. Cool. So, Victor, what have you done outside of just the normal 3 quests? Have you only done the 3 quests, or what sort of side adventuring have you been up to?
Well, since I don't have a life, spending all my time in the hotel room except when I'm working, I've spent a lot of time playing this character already. So yeah, he's up to about level 26 now.
Wow.
And so I've been trying to. I've added some mods. So I was working on this really excellent mod called Helgen Reborn, which you have to load at the very beginning of a game, and it's pretty extensive. It's really well done, really well voice acted for the most part. And it has a lot of somewhat difficult dungeon crawls and things like that. So, and the end result will be that the city of Helgen will be completely rebuilt instead of left destroyed and wasted by the dragon. So I've been working on that to sort of fill in time. I've done, let's see, I was looking at the specs. I've discovered about 63 different locations. I've cleared, I think, 15 dungeons now. This is just from the the stats in the game there. Yeah. Spent 36 days in game. It's kind of embarrassing. And I've done, as far as named quests, the Cursed Tribe. I've always liked the orcs. I've never played an orc, but all my characters sort of try to become friendly with the orcs, and in particular the Dunmer and Malakath have a sort of an affinity there. So I did that Cursed Tribe, which is the orc stronghold in the Rift, where you get Valendrung, which is the giant sort of warhammer of Malakath, which is a very, very cool weapon. Then I did Ill Met by Moonlight, which is Sindig, the werewolf. You have to he kills a young girl in Falkreath, and you eventually find him in the Floated Man's Grotto. And then you have to choose whether you should kill him or not, and all of that. And you don't really get much out of it, but it's a fun quest.
Yeah, I like the way her scene right at the end says like, "Oh, that's what I wanted you to do anyway."
That's right.
Yeah, when you turn against him, it's sort of like, "Oh well, you became the hunter instead of the hunter." And,
right. In my first two playthroughs, or three playthroughs, I always left him alive. This time I killed him. So and actually, you got to. Now that I think about it, you do get kind of a nice piece of armor out of killing him, because with that what do you call it? The Savior's Hide, yeah.
Yeah, if you're a light armor user, it's really, really good.
Yeah, yeah. Well, with my one of the things I don't know if I missed this in a couple of my little dropouts, but as far as the what do you call them? The points that you give for health, stamina, and I got no health, so I've been working on finding all kinds of buffs for it, and I've actually got my health buffed up now from 100 up to about 250 using various enchantments. And the only thing I've used that you can't get in the vanilla game is a little mod called Left-Handed Rings, and I think it makes absolute sense because you should be able to wear a ring on each hand.
Yeah.
Gosh darn it.
I'm always weirded out that you can't wear 8 rings.
Why
can't you put 10 rings on at once?
I agree. I think that might be a little hard for the game to handle, but maybe not. I don't know. But at least you should be able to wear one on each hand. So
that would make total sense. Yes.
Yeah.
And then you can go after Iron Man and kick his ass.
Right. Yeah. So anyway, that's my long spiel.
That's great. I have actually also done the Ill Met by Moonlight quest.
Oh, cool.
Because I went down. My first thing I actually did as I escaped Helgen was I went straight to Falkreath because my homestead is Lakeview Manor.
My favorite of the three.
You lucky son of a bitch.
Lucky son of a gun. I don't know if that was just a coincidence or not. How random was this? No, it's just luck of the draw. But I hightailed it over to Falkreath. And I was just trying to find enough people to help, because you have to help, I think, 3 people in order to get the permission to buy the land and all that, to become Thane and get in everyone's favor. And so Falkreath is kind of a smallish town, and I was having trouble finding enough people to help. So right. I wandered in there, and I was like, oh yeah, this werewolf guy, how's he doing? Sindig, what's up, brother? And then he escaped out, and then I went and followed him, and I actually came out with the Ring of Hearseen. And
you left him alive too?
I actually was reading online, and there's a way you can actually get the skins and the ring if you go out and talk to Hearseen and then go back in and kill him.
Really? Huh.
You can actually get awarded with both. I think you might have to save somewhere and load again, but there's a trick to it. But I didn't do that. I just I got the ring. I'm actually also a werewolf now because I wanted to get my follower, and my follower is Rhea, and she is in the companions. And in order to get a follower who is a companion, you have to actually run that whole quest to completion.
Really? Wow.
Yes. Yeah, it's kind of dumb. But so I did the whole companions quest as well, just so I could have Rhea in tow.
I hadn't done that until recently with one of my alts. I'd never completed that, and it's a good quest. I like it. It's a fun process.
It's great because I actually have, was it Wuthrud? Is that how? I don't even know. Wuthrad, yeah, exactly. That I got that axe, and I've been using that as my two-handed weapon, so it kind of fit hand in hand there. I got my follower and a sweet two-handed weapon. So doing the companions quest was actually a pretty sweet thing for me there. So let's actually get into the assignments here. We started with the first quest, which is titled Unbound. And Colin, would you like to describe just the basic premise of Unbound, what you need to do, what happens in the Unbound quest?
Sure. So Unbound, you wake up in the car, and obviously you're traveling down, and you're listening to the history of what's going on at the moment about the Civil War and who you're riding in the car with, and how you're not really involved. You're just sort of like a spectator out of nowhere. And then it goes through, and you're about to get beheaded, and that's when you realize that a dragon is going to attack. Dragon attacks, and he ensures your escape. And to be able to escape, you have to run the gauntlet through Helgen Keep to try and stay out of all the enemy soldiers' ways. And the enemy soldiers is whoever you choose. You can either go with the Stormcloaks, so the Imperials are your enemies, or you go with the Imperials, and the Stormcloaks are your enemies. And the whole Unbound is getting through that keep out the opposite side, and that completes Unbound.
So who'd you follow?
I went with Ralof because I was a Nord, so I went with Ralof. And the reason why I also choose Ralof is because if you go that side, you can get the Imperial heavy armor. I wanted the heavy armor. If you go through the other side, I think you can only get light armor if you go through the other side.
Oh, yeah. See, I did not know that. My first couple playthroughs of the game, I didn't even realize you were being presented with a choice that early on.
Same here.
I think I went with Ralof each of my first two playthroughs. So this time I made sure, now that I knew that there was a choice to be made, I fled with Hadvar, I believe that's his name.
Yeah.
The Imperial representative,
Yeah,
just
Hadvar.
because I had never done it before, so I made sure to flee with Hadvar. And so that meant that in the Helgen Keep, when you're running through, that means I was killing Stormcloaks. So what kind of gear did you find who'd you go with, Victor? Which side did you flee with?
This time I went with Hadvar as well.
What kind of gear did you find?
Let's see. What did I just grabbed whatever I could. I think I grabbed Stormcloak because that's what we were killing on the way through.
Mm-hmm.
And I took a couple of screenshots on the way out. Yeah, I had Stormcloak, but not for very long. I after coming out of the caverns there, I took a left and headed off into the woods to do my own thing for a while before I went and did the next two quests. I didn't actually finish the third quest until just recently.
Yeah, I did it yesterday morning.
Yeah. So I pretty quickly found some other stuff, and I mean, I was going through armor as is often the case early in the game when you just grab whatever you can, whatever somebody's wearing that you kill that's better than what you have, you just grab that and keep going. And so I went through bone mold armor and everything else until I've settled down on something now. So
you have bone mold armor. Does that mean that you traveled to Solstheim?
No, again, with some of these mods, for instance, I'm using one very large mod called Immersive Armors, and I'm pretty sure that's where some of those come from, out of Dragonborn or Dawnguard, just appear pretty much anywhere in the world. Right now I'm wearing something called Witchplate, which is it looks like the standard steel armor with pauldrons, but it's a little higher buff and has some runes on it or something, whatever. But it's nice. It's good armor.
That's really cool. That's awesome that you can have a wide variety of armors right off.
Oh, the selection is literally mind-boggling. The stuff that's available out there, just unbelievable.
I found something that looked really familiar to me, but I didn't remember it on my first playthrough. Something called Wolf Armor that looks really cool. It's not their best armor, but I thought it looked really neat. Would you guys remember where I picked that up? I didn't even write that down.
Yeah, you would have got that from the companions. More than likely, the guy you find dead when you're running through with what's her face with the paint on her face, Ayla.
Ayla, yeah.
Ayla, there you go.
Once you get to the end and you find the Skjor, when you find him dead, He's got
Okay.
wolf armor, so you probably took it off of him.
Yeah, I like to strip the dead bodies.
Yeah.
The naked blade strikes again.
Naked blade strikes again.
I actually got a mod recently that gives you Isgramor's armor, the same armor that's on the statue in his tomb. It's very cool.
That's cool.
I always wanted that. I don't want this stupid axe. I want that armor.
Yeah, well, there you go,
Give
Colin.
me
It's
a
out
stone
there.
shield.
Yeah, you should go grab it. You have to. I can't remember. I think you have to have completed that tomb quest in order to get it. But that's not. That's all part of the companion series anyway. So
I actually have a mildly humorous story about my bone mold armor. I'm actually in bone mold armor right now, and I really like the helmet because it looks like a combination of Predator from the side. No, Predator from the front, and a Xenomorph from the Alien movie from the side. Like how's the long, elongated head going back, and like from the front, it totally looks like the Predator to me. I was just like, wow, because those were two of my favorite movies back in the day, Predator and Alien. Used to love those.
Yeah,
so I've been rocking that. But the only reason I ran into the bone mold armor was because I went to Solstheim. And the reason I went to Solstheim is because Keith was saying, hey, man, I want to get a bunch of money so I can get this house going. And I said, ooh, you need to go check out Gildenhall Barrow up in Solstheim. And, because I wasn't telling him what was there, I was just telling him he needs to go there. He needs to go there. So I thought I would take my own advice because I wanted to start my house and you need 5,000 gold to do that. So I hightailed it up to Solstheim and I went all the way over to the Gildenhall Barrow, and only to find that you're not allowed access to the Gildenhall Barrow until you're level 30 or 36 or something, or 26. I don't remember. So I apologize to Keith, and I of course deserve a little bit of my own medicine there because that was a dumb suggestion that I didn't look into in advance. But if anyone out there is a little bit higher leveled and you need a large influx of gold, go seek out that location.
Is that part of the Deathbrand quest? Is that what it?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So that's why I was in Solstheim, and it turned out that it was just a giant waste of time. Other than I got the bone mold armor, which I actually kind of like a lot. As you leave the cave, there's a bear. Did you guys sneak or kill it?
Sneak.
I sneaked.
I killed it for
I
some
always
reason.
do. Really?
Yeah, I had an iron warhammer that I found in there, so I just ran up to it, and I didn't even sneak. I hardly ever sneak. Whenever Michael talks on the regular show, he always says how he always sneaks everywhere, and I'm just like, I don't have time for that. I got to go bash.
Yeah, I just didn't want to deal with the bear. So I sneaked by. But I don't mind killing bears at all. I hate bears.
Yeah, they can be a pain.
Yeah.
Colin was just discussing earlier in the show how he had a mod on to make dragons more difficult because time and time again he would kill a dragon fairly easily and then turn around and a bear would take him out really quickly.
Oh yeah, totally.
Like
or
that
a saber cat or something.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense that you can knock off a dragon that easily and then the saber cat will take you out no problem.
I was it's that scene where you come out of the cave just after you've either killed or got past a bear, and you come out and that dragon is flying across. And what I didn't think of, but I saw on Gopher do it, is that guy is going to be a bit of your best friend as he's flying over the top because he just saved your life. There was no way you were just about to die.
Yeah.
But when Alduin attacks, he saves your life basically. So
you should be Alduin's best buddy at this point.
You're like, thank you, bye.
Thank you. May I have another? Yeah, that's a great point. That's a legit one. I never thought of that. You should be. I wonder if you can. There's a mod to play the game sort of in reverse style, where you're on the dragon side and you go around killing everyone who tries to kill. Is there a mod for that?
I haven't seen one, but there's a lot of supporters of it. There's a lot of people out there on the groups that really want to join Alduin in destroying the world.
That would also be a fun angle to the game. That would be a neat way to play.
Yeah, where Arngir says this world should be like it could be the egg of the next one, so let it die and burn. And there's lots of people that want to join Alduin's side and actually destroy the world.
So our next assigned quest was called Before the Storm, and this is not actually a terribly involved quest. Victor, did you have fun with Before the Storm? Could you tell us a little bit about what happened there?
Yes, I think so. I apologize for not really being. I mean, I don't. They sort of all run together. So if I remember that one is just simply either Alvor or his wife implore you to go to Whiterun and speak to the Jarl to get protection for Riverwood, and that is essentially before the storm, is it not?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And I think the Farengar Secret Fire, he might actually have something to do with it too. No, he tells you to go get the Dragonstone. Tells you to go retrieve the Dragonstone tablet. I believe that is his role. But yeah, that's pretty much all there was too before the storm, is basically just go to Whiterun and get access to Dragon's Reach.
Yeah, and leads into the next one. I think most people do, or if they've played it at least once, do the Golden Claw along with that, right? So.
Yeah, see, I didn't do that. I went in and spent the night at Girder's. Then I went into the shop to sell some stuff, and then I picked up the Golden Claw, and then I went straight to Bleakford's Barrow, finished Bleakford's Barrow, and then went to Whiterun, but stopped just outside. I never went into Whiterun.
Oh, wow, that's interesting.
Okay. Yeah, I did that on one too. That way. Well, I had one character I did that simply didn't want anything to do with the dragons, but ended up picking up the Dragonstone and had this 25-pound boat anchor in his inventory because you can't get rid of the stupid thing once you pick it up unless you initiate the quest, So, but anyway, yeah.
But it doesn't actually weigh anything. I mean, it says it weighs 25 pounds, but it doesn't actually weigh anything.
Oh, it doesn't count against your carry?
Oh, no. I never noticed that. That's funny.
If you take all your stuff off, because I do that when I go to sleep. So when I go back to the house, when I got the house and I've got all my armors up on the mannequins, I'll empty everything out. So if you've got any like a sword or anything like that, that's for a quest, like Draven's bow. Everybody knows Draven's bow, that horrible thing that you can never get rid of.
Yeah,
because you can't find Draven. If you take everything off, your weight actually goes down to 0, even though you have Draven's bow on you and you have Red Eagle's Bane and things like that.
Really?
Those don't actually count against your carry weight.
As long as they're a quest item, as long as the quest is still ongoing, it won't count against your weight.
Does that count for the Stones of Baron Zaya or the unusual gems or whatever they're called?
Yes.
Wow. See, I made a point when I came across those this playthrough. I'm like, I'm not picking that fucking thing up.
Me too. Absolutely. I hate those stupid things.
I'm not launching this retarded quest.
That and the Crimson Nern route. Oh, God.
Hey, I have a question about the Crimson Nern route, too. I was picking some up. Sorry, this is a different character. But I was picking some up, and then I was putting it into, storing it in my house. Then I would take it out of the bag if I was like making some potions and stuff, and then I would put it back in the bag. And every time that I put it back in the bag, it makes it a negative point more. So now it says I have -8 Crimson Nern root in my possession. I'm like, so you're not allowed to pick it up and put it down. You have to keep it in your possession, or else it starts detracting. So now, in that character, I doubt I'll ever be able to complete the, that specific quest of where you have to pick up the 30 Crimson Nern root.
No, they do respawn. Go back there after like a month or two.
Oh, they respawn. Great.
Yeah, they respawn. Yeah. Definitely.
Cool. Awesome. Before I did the Before the Storm quest, I did a little jaunting over to Falkreath, like I had mentioned. I went to Falkreath to start getting my house processed, and I was sent to Riften by the Jarl to go get a Blackbriar ale. I guess he's got a taste for ale, specifically Blackbriar. And so I was doing the long slog all the way over from Falkreath to Riften. And my travel style, which I was assigned, is horseback, but I didn't, of course, have any money yet. Not really. So I was running by, I believe it's pronounced Haymarshame.
Yeah.
And I just saw a random, nice, beautiful white horse sitting out there. Like, no one was around. There was a dead guy. And I was like, someone must have killed this guy and not stolen his horse. So I hopped on the horse, which, it said steel horse or whatever. So I hopped on him and just rode him all the way to Riften. And when I got off, he turned around and started walking back to his dead master. But that was convenient that there was just happened to be a horse there because that was my assigned travel style. So that was cool. So I went into Riften and I got the mead. I went back and brought that back to the Jarl, and he enjoyed his mead. And he then sent me out to the Embershed mine to kill the bandit leader, which I gladly went out and did for him. After I got back from that, I was then allowed to buy property. So I just had to do those 2 small quests, and then I was allowed to buy the property for Lakeview Manor. And then I wanted to become the Thane, so here's where I had to help the people. I had to go get Runil's journal from Darkshade, which was fun. But on the way there, I stopped at Valtheim Towers.
Yeah.
And I was still really low leveled, and I'd never seen one this early on. But there was a Bow of Souls in Valtheim Towers. Nice. And I didn't know, is that randomly generated, or will that be there for everyone?
No, that's totally random, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd never seen a soul-catching weapon that early on. I was still level, 3 or 4 maybe, tops.
Yeah, I had to buy one this time because I just couldn't seem to come across one. I eventually had to buy one and disenchant it so I could enchant my crossbow.
Nice. Crossbow. Does that mean that you have signed up for the Dawn Guard already, or is that another mod where you're also allowed, besides armor, but also access to most weapons as well?
I guess that must be part of some of the mods is that I can use crossbows now. There's people, NPCs using them all over the place. But I sort of decided, along with two-handed, I was going to, since I'd never really done a crossbow wielding character, I decided to sort of concentrate on crossbow, even though it's kind of an unwieldy weapon in the game. The reload time is crazy, and it doesn't work well on horseback. You have to keep re-triggering it. But there's some really cool perks and branches to the tree that involve crossbows in the Skyrim mod. So I thought it'd be fun to try some of that. So yeah, I'm doing crossbow.
That's awesome. That's really cool. Do you usually shoot your arrows from horseback? I mean, you think that works better than the crossbow would?
Well, again, because I was specifically assigned horse travel in this, I decided to really try to do a lot more battle from horseback. And so the answer is no, not before this, but I've been doing a lot of it now, a lot of sword play and shooting of arrows from the horseback. And it works for the most part. Timing is very important, especially with the sword. It's funny, the dual wielding from a horseback, obviously you can't. So your character will take this giant sword and use it in one hand. And I have this thing called Malakath's Cleaver, which is another, from some other mod. It must be 6 feet long. It's ridiculous. But it doesn't work very well from horseback.
No. Well, I've been riding around on horseback as well, and I just found out recently that you can do, mounted battle, which, I guess I'm a big dummy for not even trying it, but someone said it came out in a patch last summer or last fall or something.
Yeah, it's not that long ago.
But I've been riding around with my Warhammer, of course, as my weapon of choice. At most of the time, I've been using a steel. Warhammer is the best one I found so far. But I like doing it on horseback because it makes me feel like I'm a polo player.
Exactly.
Because he swings it in one hand, but he swings it really low. I feel like if I, happen to get my two-hand broadsword out and hack someone's head off, I could probably get out my Warhammer immediately afterward and just start knocking his head around and try to play polo with it or something.
Yeah, totally. Do you find you have to time it just right? I mean,
it's impossible. I don't think I've actually hit anyone yet.
I think if you actually do a power move, he holds it right up into the air, and then if you get close to your target and then press the power move again, then he swings it.
Yeah, that's the way it works with the one-handed sword for sure. You can sort of as it were, cock it back and hold the sword up in the air exactly, and then release it, and he swings. But so I found with the two-handed weapons, there's a lot more timing involved because they're a lot slower.
I will definitely play around with that. That sounds great. That's a good tip, Colin.
Also, another tip. I'm pretty sure now. I'm only about 95% sure. Every time I've gone through it since my second playthrough, I found Blackbriar Mead while I'm going through Helgen.
Oh, really? Man, I could have just grabbed that there and had it in hand to give to the Jarl and be like, "Oh, you were asking for this?"
Yeah, it's usually inside. You know where you sneak past the bear. You know that little cart that's next to it. It's usually in there with the wine.
See, I didn't foresee that I was going to have to go. I mean, I guess I've done this quest before, last year sometime, so I should have known that he would request a Blackbriar mead, but I didn't even put two and two together that, oh, I have to go to Falkreath. Oh, this guy's going to want mead. Oh, look at this cart. Oh, look at that bear. Let me grab this mead and run. But that's a good tip for anyone starting out a fresh game. You want to go get your Falkreath on and just grab some Blackbriar mead. That's a great tip.
I always grab Blackbriar mead every playthrough now. Try and find that bottle. Hold on to that because I'm going to want to go there pretty soon.
Great.
So I'm curious what everybody's using for followers. Does everybody have a follower or not? Or are you playing with the followers?
What you got, Colin?
No, nothing yet. I'm still outside Whiterun. So
right.
My follower was Aethys. So I don't know who that is yet. I'll find them. But I did find out who my spouse was by accident. I was on my PC character. I was in where was it? Markarth, and I was like, "Hey, while I'm here, I'll pop in and see Victor's future husband and see what he's like." And guess who the barfly sitting right next to Koznak was?
Oh no!
Yeah. Omlug. Turns out he's one of the Breton miners that works in the mine.
Oh, we were assuming he was going to be an orc.
Yeah. No, he's one of the Breton miners. So yeah. So I'll see you in the Silver Blood Inn, Victor.
Okay, I'll be there.
You guys hang out and drink some mead together.
Yeah, and then we can both go over to the Shrine of Boethia and take care of the situation.
Well, mine's going to be, my guy is like a devout Stormcloak, so after we kill everyone at Boethia, then it'll be me and you in the ring going toe-to-toe.
That's great. When I was still on my way to before the Storm Quest, I was going to Darkshade Cave. And in Darkshade Cave, I found some iron boots of Resist Frost. You guys like the Resist Frost? I don't think I've ever enchanted anything with Resist Frost.
I usually stick to potions for that sort of thing.
Yeah, me too.
Because I like to use enchantments on armor and things for what seem like more important things to me anyway, health and muffle and magic regeneration and things like that.
Yeah.
I'm the opposite.
Really?
I seek out the resist frost armors and the resist fire, so I will walk around in the early stages when you can't enchant something too well. I'll walk around with 3 pairs of shoes, one for frost, one for fire, one for shock, and then sort of like a helmet that does archery and bracers that do two-handed. So I'll be, those mercenaries that you see walking around with 6 different types of armors on. That's me as I'm walking through the game.
That's great.
With the dragon masks.
Yeah.
That'd be a great interaction. I'd like to see that in real time in life when you go up to your enemy and you're like, wait a second. Let me change my shoes.
Yep.
Let me tie up my new boots, and then we can proceed to fighting again.
That's what sneaking is for. You
Yes.
send your follower in. Okay, that's a fire dragon. I'm just going to go put my fire boots on. You get his attention there, Lydia. Well done.
That's good. Yes. See, I'm glad we have these conversations to learn all these different styles. That's smart. That's really smart. So then I popped into Whiterun to get the assignment to go to Bleak Falls Barrow. And Bleak Falls Barrow is I actually enjoyed Bleak Falls Barrow quite a bit.
It's a cool dungeon.
Yeah. It's one of the biggest as well, I think.
It's very long, yeah.
Yeah. Michelle, are you back with us?
I am.
Do you have you gotten your quest around to completing the first 3 you said?
Yes, that's literally all I've done.
Okay. So you haven't gotten a follower or anything? What follower were you assigned?
Well, that's a good question. I believe that my assigned follower is a Dark Brotherhood initiate.
Oh, yes, I remember that.
So yeah, no, I haven't gotten that yet.
Yeah, I think you have to complete the whole quest in order to get that guy too.
I'm pretty sure I do. And I've actually never done that one. So I'm kind of looking forward to it.
Well, hey, that'll be fun.
Because last time I just killed what's her name, Astrid.
Oh, you did?
Outright, yes.
That shortens the quest a little bit.
A little bit.
Just a little bit, yeah.
But I didn't like her attitude. So.
Yeah, she's kind of mean.
I do like the way she says good kill right at the end, though.
Good kill.
Yeah.
Yes. Gives you a little respect for her, I guess.
Yeah.
Do you remember who you followed out of Helgen, Michelle? Did you follow a Stormcloak or the Imperial?
I followed the guy who takes me to the blacksmith, whichever one that is. Is it Rayloff?
Oh, Hadvar.
Yeah, Hadvar.
Yeah.
Hadvar?
Yeah, the one who whispers at you all the time.
Yes.
Did you kill the bear, or did you sneak by the bear as you exited the Helgen cave?
I snuck by the bear. I've decided to just basically sneak around all of Skyrim. That's my plan for... I'm literally never out of sneak. I just sneak past everything as much as possible because my tiny little level 5 ridiculous girl can do pretty much nothing at this point. So sneaking past things is my best option. So I love sneaking past wildlife and just, randomly my sneak goes up. I'm like, oh, something must be over there.
Let's not go there.
Is everyone in those cages in Helgen the same in each gameplay through, or are those randomly generated as well? Because I found a mage in a cage, a dead mage, and he had some lockpicks on him, and he had a mage hood and some mage robes.
I think I had the same.
Yeah, that's always the same. I think that's all. That's never randomly generated. Just so that everybody comes out of there with the same opportunities or whatever you want to say.
Yeah, so you have the light armor, heavy armor, and the mage stuff, so you can choose which one to go with.
Choose which one you want to go. That's great. Yeah. So yeah, I made sure that I got into the that cage and I took his hood and his robes and everything. And in the chest in Helgen, there was lots of iron gear that I found. So Michelle, did you come out with some iron weapons and all that?
Actually, I think I just put on the mage robes, to tell you the truth.
Okay, cool.
Because I was just going to go for it and just be as easily killed as possible.
Yeah, there you go. Great.
You didn't want any of those wolves to bust a tooth on one of your buttons. Yeah.
Right, exactly.
And how did you proceed from there? Did you go to Whiterun to tell the Jarl about the dragon attack on Helgen and to go protect Riverwood? Or did
I went straight to Whiterun. I literally did nothing interesting.
Because Colin was saying that he got the Golden Claw and went straight to Bleak Falls Barrow without even going to Whiterun yet. And I didn't even know that was an option, but I guess it would be.
I guess so, yeah. If you just go to Bleak Falls Barrow, I suppose you could do that.
Yeah. So let's get into Bleak Falls Barrow, Michelle. What'd you think of Bleak Falls?
Oh, I enjoyed Bleak Falls. I enjoyed it last time as well. It's a nice big dungeon, and I died about 500 million times. But other than that, it was fine. As long as I actually remembered to save every 3 seconds, it was okay. But, those times when I would, just go along for 20 minutes and everything was going great, and then realized that I hadn't saved and now I was dead.
Oh,
that was a little painful. But other than that, no, I enjoy that one.
And Colin, you tell us a little bit about your Bleak Falls adventure?
Yeah. I had my stuff to sell from the Helgen debacle. So I went into the shop and found them arguing and got the Golden Claw quest. And she pointed me towards. I went up and then got my ass handed to me by that wolf that's on the way up there. So I turned around and went all the way back and bought some more spells. I think I got I couldn't find Fear. The only thing I could find was Frenzy, but that wolf is on his own, so I had to go up.
Yeah, he can't kill something else that's not there.
Yeah, so I got frenzy. I went back and I started to use a little bit of healing. I wanted to just use illusion and one-handed, not use like any other weapon or any other magic, but I had to. So I used a bit of healing and took out the wolf, and then snuck up and attacked all the 3 guys out by the tower. They all took each other out, and then the one guy remaining, I went up, took him out, and then snuck all the way around the other side. Done the same thing to the 3 guys outside. Kept on casting frenzy on the archer, and he took out the other 2 guys. And then I snuck up to the archer and took him out.
That's such a cool school. I like the frenzy and that makes all your opponents kill each other. That's really fun. I've never actually played around with that too much.
Illusion is great, yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of the funnest.
Just like you said in the last episode, it's a very Batman way to play.
Yeah, and you have to avoid all your enemies when you're on legendary, because they just hit you once.
That's
I
cool.
should
And
probably mention that currently, so far as killing things, I've just been shooting them with arrows because archery is my number one warrior skill. So I'm just trying to get that up as quickly as I can.
are you still on an iron arrows?
No, I think I found some steel ones somewhere.
And what kind of bow are you using? A hunter's bow or a longbow, or what are you on?
I'm trying to think. I did upgrade that. So I think I just had the regular hunter's bow, but then I just smithed it up a little bit to make it somewhat slightly better.
Sorry, go ahead, Colin.
But what about if you've done Bleakfall Barrow, then you get the Ancient Nord bow? Isn't that one the best from Helgen to Whiterun? I think the Ancient Nord one.
It certainly is possible. I don't think I picked one up though.
And the arrows are equivalent to steel as well, I think.
Are they?
Yeah, they are. You're playing with mods, right, Michelle?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I've actually turned most of my mods off, just to be fair.
I mentioned that, and Andrew said play with the mods, so I'm just modding my head off.
Yeah, it's.
Well,
I think that's a good
fine,
way
I
to show a good variance of play styles. Is modding is definitely one of the most popular play styles these days, at least. So I think it's a good way to get a good variation. So please feel free if you want to use some mods.
But all my mods are basically things that make things lighter and things like that, and that's kind of rude. So
Yeah,
I'm okay without it right now. If I decide I can't stand it, I'll turn them back on.
Okay.
Well, if you think you can handle using Skyrim as an archer, it helps a lot. It adds a lot of options to archery. So.
Good. I'll take a look at that.
Yeah.
Because I don't believe I'm using that currently.
It's a fairly complex install, but once it's done, and it's great. It really changes the game a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, you see an archer or somebody with a crossbow, you run.
Yeah, that's right.
Archers.
That's cool. So before I went into the Bleak Falls Barrow, I decided that I would like to try to go get my follower. So while I was in Whiterun, I went over to Jorvaskr, to the Companions hideout, upside down boat. I'm not sure if that's exactly what it is, but to me it looks like someone flipped a ship upside down.
Supposedly, it's the ship that Isgramor and the 500 came back in. Supposedly, that's what it is.
Oh, awesome. There you go.
And so I decided to go ahead and play through the Companions quest because you have to in order to get the follower. So I did the quest Take Up Arms, where you have to clean Falmer out of Shimmer Mist Cave. But my game froze 3 times on the way there, so I had to keep reloading. But I was reloading from an auto save, and so I finally went back and reloaded from a solid save point, and that actually solved the trick. So anyone out there, if you're having trouble with freezing, do not load from an auto save.
That's actually notorious. The game, not just on PS3 but everywhere, auto and quick saves are notoriously unstable.
It was bad. So I had to go back a little bit and I had to replay some of the Falmer Shimmermist Cave quest again, but or no, before that even. But so it froze a couple times, so I reloaded, and then I was at Whiterun again. So I decided to go down to the stable and talk to the guy there at the stable, and I bought Queen Alfsigur, which is a pretty nice little horse. Cost me 1,000 gold, and I am still happy because I still have my horse. I'm amazed that I haven't killed it yet. But what'd you say?
Give it time.
Yeah, no kidding. It'll die soon, I'm sure. I just don't want to end up, before I get a lot of money around, having to spend all of my, free income on getting horses. But after that, I did the Proving Honor quest, where you go to the Dustman's Cairn and you find out that Falcus is a werewolf, where you have to go slaughter all the Silverhands. And mainly all the companion stuff is going and killing all the Silverhands, basically. But in Dustman's Cairn, there's a lot of bone meal, because there's lots of Draugr, and I just happen to be wearing the bone mold armor. And so I was happy to pick a lot of that up, because that means I can smith up my armor, the bone meal. And that's pretty cool, because in earlier playthroughs, I didn't even know that connection between the bone meal and the bone mold. And you find a Wuthrod fragment at Dustman's Cairn. Then I did the Silverhand quest, where you have to clear Gallows Rock of the werewolf hunters. And that was pretty fun. And then as you come back to Whiterun there's an attack on your Vasker by the Silverhands. They have come and done an attack. So you find people injured and dead laying around. So that sends you on the Purity of Revenge quest, where you have to retrieve more fragments of Wuthrod, and then you have to wipe out the Silverhand yet again at the Driftshade Refuge. And in Driftshade Refuge, I wrote down here that I found 2 copies of Uncommon Taste, just because someone was discussing that book in the chat room the other day. At least on the Thuumcast, someone was saying that they had actually created a recipe out of the Uncommon Taste cookbook. And for them, it turned out horrible, because how do you measure flagons? But there's fragments of Wuthrod as well. Then you finish out the quest with the Glory of the Dead, where you fight the companion's ghosts, and you have to free Ysgramor's wolf spirit. And after you do that, you receive Ysgramor's shield, which gives you a bonus health of 20 points, and it increases your magicka resistance by 20%. And that means I got Rhea as my follower, because I finally finished all that up. And I wanted to grab her, but at the same time, sorry, I'm going on here. At the same time, I wanted to go get my other follower, too. I was actually way more excited about my other follower, who is a armored troll. So I hightailed it over to Fort Dawnguard to try to talk to Isran to get my secondary follower. But on my way there is an obvious road leading right to the fort. But do not take that road. I was highly confused, because I kept going up, and then that little message would pop up in the top left-hand corner saying, "You cannot go that way. You cannot go that way." So, and then I was chatting online, and I think Colin actually told me, "Oh, you need to find this little crack in the wall. It's literally the smallest little crack that you'll see, and you just kind of have to slide in there, I guess." And there's a back entrance to the fort, the Dawnguard fort. But then I did, the Dawnguard, Isran tells you to do a few things. There's an awakening quest where you go find Serana at Dim Hollow Cavern. And in there you have to kill Lokil, and you have to push those pillars around to unlock the puzzle to get Serana's tomb, or her cell, to pop up. And so we got Serana, and we took her home back to her island up at the was it Volkahar? I don't remember. Those vampires, whatever their clan is called. We took her home, and I decided to stay with the Dawnguard so I could actually get my armored troll. So then I went back to where did I go? I enchanted a crossbow of souls. So I must have done that over at Fort Dawnguard, I'm assuming, because I had a crossbow. So I enchanted that because I earlier found, that bow of souls, surprisingly. And so right off the bat, I made a crossbow of souls and gave that to Rhea. And now she's collecting souls for me, even though enchanting isn't one of my main skills yet. I'm not supposed to be, but I have a hard time playing without enchanting stuff. I really like the enchanting aspect of the game.
Oh, I don't think you should. I think that those crafting skills are
essential to
fundamental. The game. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm not going to shy away from alchemy either when it comes to that. I'll start playing around with alchemy as well before too long. So I went back to my house at Lakeview Manor, and I built a larger addition on and added the separate container for each category, but I didn't add, everything in the house. I just made sure that I had a container for each category of, like weapon and armor and potions and ingredients and stuff. I just like to have a barrel for each of those to store everything in, keep everything nice and neat and separated.
Yeah,
and then I had to build my alchemy lab and my enchanting table. And then my house is as complete as I need it to be at this point because I'm a werewolf, so I don't need to build a bed because sleeping doesn't give you any bonuses when you're a werewolf. It always says your beast blood prevents you from getting a good night's sleep or something like that. My house is pretty bare, but I have containers, and that's how I like it. And I've got my troll is with me. He's in tow, and I bring him along with me on my adventures now, and it's really fun to have him. I like having my troll around. He's actually way better at sneaking. Like, I would thought that he would give me away right off the bat, because if you've ever had a troll with you, they breathe super loud and they grunt all the time, and they're just loud and they sound like sloppy, like there should be drool just everywhere, all over their face. When I go into sneak mode, I can hear him breathing down my neck, but still it doesn't give me away. The people don't see me, my enemies, so he must be pretty good at sneaking, or it's just that they don't count his noises he's making as, actually being noises.
And like, you have to give yourself away. I don't think your followers can give you away, because I've had it where Cicero walked up to people and pushed people out of the way to get back to me while I was sneaking, and he still didn't give me away. So I'm pretty sure it's yourself that he'll give you away, not apart from Lydia. Lydia obviously always gives you away.
Always.
By hitting something in the face with her sword.
Yes. Lydia's great. So we went, and everyone together with Rhea and my troll, we went and did the Bleak Falls Barrow and the Golden Claw together at once at one time. I did not know that you could actually separate those two quests, so we just did them both at the same time. I got the Golden Claw from, what's his name? Arvel the Swift, Arvel. He's the guy who's tied up by the spider, and he's like, cut me down, and then when you cut him down, you ask for the claw, and he tells you to screw off and tries to run away. And I knew that he was going to run away, so I just killed him immediately and took the claw.
He's probably the shortest lived NPC in the game, I think.
Yeah, you just let him run, he gets killed anyway.
Oh, does he? Okay. Yeah, I just took him out immediately. So after he tries to escape, I killed him. And then the next part, there's tons of Draugr, which I was fine with because I collect lots of my bone meal so I can spruce up my armor. And then there at the end, you get a nice little shout. That is the beginning of the Unrelenting Force shout. You learn that first word. And I think a lot of people will say that that's their favorite shout in the game.
It's certainly the most versatile. Useful anyway.
My favourite's is Clear Skies. That's the great.
That's funny.
What does that one do for you?
It stops dragons hitting you in the face with frost breath.
Sweet.
It knocks them out of the sky. Everything.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Yeah.
It's like a pre-dragon rend,
It's and you can if you only hit the first word, it's got a 5-second it recycles after 5 seconds, and it stuns them. It's like hitting them with Unrelenting First, like Foos, but that's got 15 seconds, whereas Clear Sky, the very first word's 5 seconds. So
that's great.
It's an awesome show. I love it.
Shorter recharge time.
That's the one.
Yeah. So also at the end there, after, I don't know, it's some sort of level Draugr that's in the crypt, for me at least. I was kind of expecting for a dragon priest to hop out of there for some reason, but it just happened to be a Draugr. And by the chest over there, I got a ancient Nord war axe of ice that I found. So I always collect all the magic things so I can go disenchant them later. There was also a dwarven bow, which I thought you had to be a certain level for dwarven stuff to start appearing.
What level are you?
What am I now? At that point, right now, I am a level 15, so I was probably, 12 or 13 at that point. So I guess it must be a level 10.
Yeah.
That dwarven stuff starts to show up.
Is it your level, or is it your skill in say smithing? So if you've got the dwarven perk, is that when you start seeing dwarven?
Dwarven books like 30, I think, isn't it?
Is it? Okay. Yeah.
That's a good question.
Yeah, I don't know.
And also, I found a hide shield of waning fire and a necklace of alchemy. So there was lots of useful things in that chest for me.
Yeah,
Enjoyed all of that.
a lot of good loot in there.
What did you guys find? Do you find similar items or the exact same items, or how did you find the Bleak Falls end of the quest?
Oh God, I don't remember what I found.
I'm pretty sure I also had the Axe of Icy some bullshit, which I also just disenchanted just for the fun of having the enchantment. I didn't really get anything as cool as you. I'm sorry. That kind of sucks. I'd like to have a dwarven bow.
Yeah.
So that's cool that it does randomize your prizes at the end of that quest.
Don't you get the weapon of something ice from the Drugar himself, not the actual chest?
It might.
Yeah,
have
that
been
was from him, not the.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right.
Because when I was going through it, because I can't play with a follower when I'm doing that, because they just end up getting you killed, especially as a sneaky character. And I mean, I'm in heavy armor, but it still bloody hurts when you get hit. So
sneaking in heavy armor.
Yeah. So when the worst ones was the two-handed guys, because they've got so much range on those swords. Because I gotta get close enough for them to swing at me, but then not so close that they actually hit me, so I can pull back fast enough, and then I can go in there for a dual wield. Because I've got illusion. But Bleak Falls Barrows was the worst one, because obviously no illusion spell is going to work on undead until I get it up to 90, I think. So that's the only thing that's going to suck for me when it's there. But I'm pretty sure that Bleak Falls Barrow is the only place where you find undead in the whole of Skyrim. I'm pretty sure that's right. There's no other zombies in the whole of Skyrim apart from that one quest.
No.
So I should be fine. In the chest that I do it right at the end. I mean, lucky for me, the Drugar Overlord that comes out after you get the word, he had a sword and a shield, so I was able to get him to swing at me, pull back, dual wield twice. I had enough stamina to hit him twice, and then run away for about 10 minutes until my stamina recharged. Then run back up and then keep on doing that again. I had to do that about 20 or 30 times to get him down.
Wow.
But it does build you up like you're one-handed quite quickly. So when I got to the chest, I got an Orcish greatsword, which doesn't work for me because I'm one-handed. Some steel cuffed boots, which I'm already wearing. A garnet, 132 gold.
Wow.
A whole scroll of Blizzard. A staff of sparks, and some novice robes of restoration.
Well, that's some good gear.
And then in the other chest behind the waterfall, I got an iron warhammer, 26 gold, potion of minor stamina, and 6 steel arrows. And then in the chest behind the word wall, I got a garnet, 35 gold, gold ingot, woohoo! A petty soul gem, and a copper and sapphire circlet.
Great.
Kudos.
You made out like a bandit, son. I also noticed I had a gold ingot in my possession. That must have been the same place where I got mine as well. Did you guys, before you went to the Bleak Falls Barrow, did any of you happen to stop at the stones, the 3 stones there outside of Riverwood?
Yeah.
What'd you go with?
Warrior.
Warrior Stone.
Yeah, because illusion's not going to work until I get in to see Farangar and get some spells from him.
Get some good spell books.
Yeah.
Michelle, did you stop by the stones on your way there?
I did actually on my way to Riverwood. I did, and I think I picked the Mage Stone because that's what I was going to try to focus on. Although it was probably a bad idea. because right now it's not serving me very well, but that's what I've chosen.
Well, there you go.
Not that I couldn't go back and change it whenever I want. I just am lazy and not gonna.
Yeah. I'm not walking across that river.
No.
How about
Too
you,
much
Victor?
fucking work.
Did you make a choice of stones there too?
Well, I usually leave those three alone and go for something else. But this playthrough, I'm since I'm 0 health, I went straight for the Lady Stone, which is not far from there. It's in the middle of Lake Ilinalta, and that gives you a 25% regeneration on health and stamina. So, or 25% faster. So, and since I have 3 stamina, 0 health, and 1 magic, I am now have an immense amount of stamina, and it regenerates very quickly. So it's actually working out fairly well. I'm kind of amazed at how well it's working out.
So when you say you have 3 of one, 0 of another, and 1 of another, can you explain that real quick to the listeners what that means?
Well, for every 4 level ups, that means I take 3 points in stamina and 1 point in magicka and 0 points in health. That's a pretty standard, point spread kind of thing for role playing playthroughs like this, so that's mine. I know other people. Was it Colin who has 3-2-1 or something? Yeah. So it just it's the luck of the draw. It's fun. That's actually one of the best parts of this this playthrough is playing under those kinds of restrictions, because it makes you a little more thoughtful about certain things.
Yeah, I didn't realize it at first, but you and I have the exact same stat spread there. I also have the 3 stamina, 1 magicka, and 0 health. I'm not allowed to increase my health at all. And I remember you were discussing the Lady Stone. I looked it up to see where it was, and since I'm at Lakeview Manor for my house, I was like, well, wait a second. The lake that I am viewing happens to be the lake that has the Lady Stone. So I hopped over to get the Lady Stone perk as well.
Yeah, it seemed to work well. There was a point there as I'm playing. Like I said, I'm up in the mid-20s level now, but there was a point where it was pretty bad. I had a lot of stamina and 0 health, and I didn't have any buffs yet for the health, and I was just dying everywhere. But it's gotten better now. So,
Michelle, do you know what level you're at? What character?
I'm
total level?
fairly certain that my level currently is 5.
Okay, no rush.
Which is why I'm dying every 5.5 seconds, but it's fine. It's fine.
Hey, just keep on saving.
Yeah, well, right. As long as I remember to do that, it's fine. I have the stat spread of 3-2-1. I've got 3 in stamina, 2 in magicka, and 1 in health. So that's not quite as interesting as yours, but it's working out okay.
It's more helpful for you, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially the 2 magicka. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. My character is currently a level 15, and I haven't invested any perks yet. What have you guys? Have you chosen a tree to start investing perks in yet?
Good Lord.
Yeah. See, my one-handed is level 36. I'm level 8 overall. One-handed is 36, and I've got let's see, the one that costs less stamina, because I've can only put 1 in stamina for every 4. And I've got the first perk, obviously, and then the dual wield as well, so I can smack them about a bit.
Good.
I also always like to put some perks in alteration, but I haven't yet. But I think I'm going to. I always like alteration.
Good. How about you, Victor? Have you invested any perks yet?
Oh yeah. A lot of them. I haven't written all of it down, but I've been mostly investing in the 2-handed and heavy armor side of things. I should say that again through mods, in playing with mods, particularly mods like Skyrim and some of the other AI mods that make gameplay more difficult. And I'm playing on master level right now, although I admit that I have had to knock that back a couple of times when I just simply could not get past a spot. But Skyrim has a lot of trees, a lot of branches to the trees, and so I use a little INI file that was developed to go along with Skyrim called Uncapper. And it does a couple of things. One of them is it allows you to go over 100 on your levels, which is kind of cool because that works into Skyrim and some of the other mods. But it also allows you a little bit extra perk. So I play with a multiplier. So for every 3 levels, I get an extra perk.
Wow, cool.
Because there's just so many branches to the trees, and that you really kind of need that extra perk. So I've taken, I don't know where I am exactly in levels and points, but I've taken a lot of, I've taken a few in enchanting, a few in alchemy. I've kept my smithing down just to the essentials, and not taken it up all the way. Skyrim actually joins the branches of smithing in the middle at the top there, so it's not separated like it is in the vanilla game. And it adds 3 branches in the center, including some clothing and jewelry and other kinds of things that you can get points at.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, what else have I put skill in? I don't usually put anything into lockpicking because lockpicking is relatively easy if you sort of hoard lockpicks. So I haven't put any there. I haven't put anything into speech. I've just been concentrating mostly on what I was given: alchemy, enchanting, and two-handed. So,
But with your smithing, Victor, you can't make something or improve something without that perk. So without the like the dwarven perk, you can't improve a dwarven bow or anything like that.
That's correct. With Skyrim, it does not allow you to do any of that until you have the actual perk. That's correct.
And there isn't a potion of improving smithing, and there isn't an enchantment for improving smithing or alchemy.
Nope, they're all gone through Skyrim. So you can't do any of those exploits either with like there was, what was it, Fortify Restoration? There's a Fortify Restoration exploit where you can just kill the points. All that's basically it's gone in Skyrim. So yeah. So it makes things a little more difficult. So you do need some of those extra points.
That's very interesting. That's cool. I'm glad we have people playing with mods and stuff. It's cool to hear about that sort of stuff. Yeah, my overall level again is I finished at a 15. I'm overall level 15 right now. My two-handed is up to level 58. I like to use my two-handed. That's my highest level of anything right now is 58. My restoration, which is my magic skill, is level 23. And I've been restoring the hell out of everything, and it just takes forever to get that restoration points to register to go up at all.
Really?
I don't know. I always find it difficult. Maybe I'm not doing it correctly or at the right times or something. Maybe you're only supposed to do it because I always kill the people and then I heal myself. Maybe you're supposed to hurt them and then heal yourself and then go back and, because some things, you can only do while enemies are around and still alive, that it only registers your points. So maybe I need to check to see how I need to start restoring in the middle of battles more instead of only at the end. My speech is level 26. It's also, I've only been successful with, convincing someone to do something they wouldn't normally do once. But I've gotten that up because I've been selling, when I find gems, I usually hold on to those until I find some silver and gold ingots and start making jewelry. And then, usually I'll enchant the jewelry and then go sell that. Yeah. But as I'm finding jewels, I'm just selling them almost immediately now. And that's how I'm getting my speech up a little bit at first here. And for my 3 stat spreads, my stamina is an overall 210, and my magic is 130, and my health is still at 100 because I can't increase the health at all. But that's basically where my adventure is standing right now. Does anybody have any other hanging loose threads that they would like to cover with their character?
Yeah. When I came out of Bleakfall Barrel, you come out that little back way, you jump down, got the skull and the pedestal. And then you come out the back way, you got that little potion, and you climb down the side of the mountain. So I was trotting back to head back to bring the claw back before heading to Whiterun. And I noticed a little cabin on the side of the river. And there was some real nice old lady. She was a little bit nervous that I was there. But she was real nice. But I wanted to do some alchemy, and I noticed she had an alchemy book, but I couldn't find an alchemy table. And I noticed that there was a little trap door. just next to her bed, and I thought, well, she won't mind. Kindly old lady. So I popped. I broke in, but she didn't seem to mind. I went downstairs, and I was using her alchemy table and her enchanter's table, and then I noticed a little note there, and it mentioned something about how she wanted to start a coven. Turns out she was a witch. It's disgusting. So I came outside and said, "Look, I ain't going to tell anybody, but she just attacks me right out and on there." So
she didn't like you breaking in and using her table without permission, Colin.
Yeah. No, she just said she didn't want people to know that she was a witch going to start a coven and destroy the world. So I had to put it down for the good of Skyrim. But at least now I have a nice little cabin that's got an alchemy table and an enchanter's table.
And a usable bed, yeah. And actually, there are like 3 or 4 safe containers in that cabin. One of my characters lived there for half his playthrough.
Nice.
Yeah,
it's real nice.
It's a really cool little cabin.
And storage is safe, correct?
Not all of them, but the ones, I think all the ones in the basement are safe.
So that's a good starter house for all you out there who don't have enough money to buy your house right off the bat. Just go kill that poor old woman. That poor old
She's
woman.
a witch.
Well, she sent thugs after me because I think I stole a sweet roll or something. And
no!
And so she sent 3 thugs after me. So that's when I went back and took her out and took over the cabin. So.
I'd be careful about eating that sweet roll. You never know what's going to pop up in that thing.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, Anissa's cabin is great.
That's great. Well, thank you for sharing that little story, Colin.
That's all right. I like sharing stories where I murder old women. Check out my blog.
Well, who doesn't?
And I've got a little bit of a surprise for everyone in the group this evening. I thought that I might throw a little game your way. Introducing Divines versus Daedra. I'm going to read a description of a god or demon from the Skyrim game, and you guys buzz in by saying your name. And this is going to be an overall. This is not just for this episode, but I will be, until we complete the list totally, we will just go through and see if we can play any sort of game or any sort of see if you guys can pick out what, if it's a Daedra or Divine, see if you can name who I'm trying to describe. So just chime in with your name, and here we go. This is the representative of mercy and justice. Mercy and justice. Any idea? They will help the Dawn Guard.
Colin Stendar.
Stendar, very good. Vigilance of Stendar. That's great. Colin, you get a point. This is going to be a cumulative points over the run of the show, so we'll see who has most points at the end.
But I'm winning right now, right?
Colin is in the lead. Colin is in the lead.
So right now I'm the winner.
Right now, if the world ended, Colin would be the winner. You can chime out. Yes. Next one. This is the representative of murder and deceit.
Colin Mifala?
Close. Not quite.
Victor. Boethia.
Victor. Boethia. Very good. And Victor's on the board with a point. And the last one for this evening. This is the representative of domination, also known as the Corruptor or the King of Rape.
Colin Molag Bal.
Molag Bal is correct, Colin. Woo! Colin has 2 points on the board, Victor with 1. And we will stop there at the game for this week, and we will continue on next week. Everyone study up on your Daedra and your Divine.
Yeah, clearly, I need some help there.
Hey,
I should have totally known the King of Rape. Come on.
Oh, come on. Who doesn't know the King of Rape? So that was our little game, and we will see if we can expand it right a little bit.
At least he doesn't make jokes about it, Michelle.
I do. I make a lot of rape jokes. I'm sorry.
You're going to pull a Daniel Tosh on us if you're not careful.
Rape jokes and dick jokes. That's what you get out of me.
There you go. So as our little outro here, I would like everyone just again to briefly state your name and your character's name. And please go ahead and plug your Twitter if you have a Twitter, or if you have a podcast or some other project that you like, or if you have your own website, or just something that you like in general, something you'd like to promote. It doesn't have to be something you're necessarily involved with, but something you would like the world to know about. So, Colin, could you go ahead and tell us your character name and something that you would like to promote?
My character's name is Gunvar Oakenmaster, and I'd like to promote bacon because it's awesome.
Bacon is very good. Michelle, what do you got for us?
My character is again Ravenia Laicus, and my Twitter, I believe, is Michelle MICHELLERBLC. And feel free to whatever you do with that.
Sounds good. Everyone follow Michelle on Twitter. And Victor, what do you have, son?
Well, my character is Slythe Aaron, and I agree with Colin on the bacon thing. But I also I've started a Tumblr blog for Slythe. It is slytheaaron.tumblr.com. That's SLYTHEAREN.tumblr.com. It's not very well populated with content yet, but I'm working on it.
That sounds great.
Fantastic. I also have a Tumblr, but I'm not going to tell you what it is because you can't go there.
Oh.
Too much private stuff on your Tumblr?
Oh, not private per se, but just things you don't want to see.
Okay.
Rape and dick jokes, more than likely.
Yes, exactly. You got it.
Nice. And again, my character's name is Mania Ababna. And I would just like for everyone, even though you're already listening to a Skyrim Addict podcast, that would be my thing to promote. I'm a big fan of the Skyrim Addict podcast, and I would like to thank everyone for listening to the Skyrim Roundtable. If you'd like to follow me on Twitter, I'm not very exciting, but my name is Indy Android. That's INDYANDROID. And I would like to convince everyone, please, if you upload anything onto the Skyrim Addict podcast Facebook page, please hashtag your character's pictures or stories or anything with the hashtag Skyrim Roundtable, so that when other people are interested in the project, they can find it just by searching in the Facebook search bar. So a hashtag Skyrim Roundtable would be appreciated on any posts. And we are also trying to convince people who are doing play-alongs to also send in their audio feedback and upload pictures of their characters. So if you have audio feedback to send in, please do so. You can send it to skyrimroundtable@gmail.com. And please join the Facebook group for a Skyrim Addict podcast. And if you would like to do a play-along, but you haven't contacted us yet, I will be glad to assign any random attributes the same way that I've assigned everyone here their attributes for their characters. So please, again, just contact us at skyrimroundtable@gmail.com, and I will be assigning you some character attributes. That sounds good. And everyone, as a favor, please just take 2 minutes to go over to the iTunes review section, and please review for Michael the Skyrim Addict podcast. He works hard at the show, and he puts a lot of effort in, and it's greatly appreciated. I think it's a wonderful show. So if everyone could please just take a minute to go and review the podcast and give him 5 stars, just so we can show him our support, that would be great. And also, one last thing. If there were supposed to be a few more people show up tonight who couldn't make it, so we're encouraging them to send in their play-along feedback. And after this recorded message, there should be a few people's feedback posted here that Blake will tack on to the end of the show. So after the show, please don't go anywhere. Stay tuned for more listener feedback. And
Happy Skyrim!
Elegy prophecies written in heavenly bodies and buried with everybody that ever did bother to mess with me, dead and I'm terribly, horribly. I'm a celebrity, honestly. You're a wannabe. I'm a prodigy. The suggestion you're better than me at being a warrior? Ha! Comedy. It's a gift to me. I don't just spit flames lyrically, but literally. And the Elder Scrolls are scripts in which I've written your obituary. I am the Dragonborn, wearing a hat with badass horns. I'm Dovahkiin, I'm globally, you're nobody at all.
Hi everyone, this is Andrew from a Skyrim Addict podcast Roundtable, and I realize I forgot to tell everyone what the next assignments would be as far as the quest line is concerned. So for Saturday, June 14th, we would like for everyone to have Dragon Rising, The Way of the Voice, and The Horn of Jurgen Windcaller completed. Those are just the next 3 quests in the Dragon storyline. So if you'd go ahead and get those underway and have those finished up by June 14th, that would be awesome. And please, if anyone would like to do a play along with us or have any random attributes assigned, go ahead and contact us at skyrimroundtable@gmail.com. And thanks for listening.
Hello, everyone. Blake here. Sorry I missed the show when I missed the live recording. I had a few more plans for Memorial Day than I had originally planned on, but I had a good time and it was hard to pass up. So anyway, here I am now. I guess while I have the floor, let me take a minute and fill everybody in on what's going on with Metal Shark Studios and a Skyrim Addict podcast. I talked to Michael. He's agreed to join the studio, which would make a Skyrim Addict one of our official shows now. As far as any changes on the show itself, you'll start hearing studio sounders at the end of the show. And if I have anything to promote other shows that are strictly Metal Shark Studio shows, then I'll send those to Michael to play as well. You know, nothing format-wise will change. If anything changes, you know, it was by Michael's choice. It'll still be released on the same schedule. You know, Michael has to have time to play, so whenever it's out, it's out. Just as it's always been. So that's really the only changes you'll notice. Now, as far as ads go, any of the shows I have now, I'm hoping to keep 100% ad free. So you shouldn't hear any ad reads on a Skyrim Addict at all. All right, now that that's out of the way, let me get into my character, my Britain female Aeon, which I'm a pretty hot chick. You know, I don't know. I don't know what I went for when I designed her, but she's blonde, blue eyes, Britain. Kind of like me, but female, I guess. Anyway, all right. I had, let's see, my attributes. I had 0 points I could put in Magicka. I had 2 I could put in health, and 3 I could put in stamina. I think I'm a level 2 or 3, perhaps. And I was worried. I talked to Andrew some. I was worried that I didn't cover enough ground. I didn't get enough stuff done this playthrough for the 3 quests, side stuff to do. But listening to the Roundtable, doing the editing on it, I decided I may not be as far behind as I originally thought I was. So that was good to hear. I also, let's see, my warrior skill, I had 2-handed. So leaving Helgen, I picked up a Warhammer, and I eventually swapped it for a broadsword. Destruction, I have, my Magicka, or mage skill rather, is Destruction. I've been playing around with the flame some, as I always do, but I'm trying not to use that too much. A, because I can't put any points in Magicka, and B, because my very first playthrough I played as a mage, basically. So I'm wanting to explore a little bit more with the 2-handed, so I'm trying to force myself to use that 2-handed weapon whenever possible. And my thief skill, I got pickpocketing, and only doing 3 quests so far, and not really messing around with any side stuff. I've been doing a lot of sneaking to hopefully sneak up on people to pickpocket them, but I haven't tried actually picking any pockets just yet. Let's see, the first quest, Unbound. I think Andrew asked on the show, who did you go with? Did you go with the Stormcloaks or the Imperials? And I think from all the propaganda I've posted on the side, it was an easy choice of who I chose. Stormcloaks, of course, which later on, the faction I joined is Stormcloaks, which, I couldn't be happier. So I went with the Stormcloaks, and I took the Stormcloak armor off one of the dead Stormcloaks. I'm wearing that, and I got the hammer from one of them. I also didn't pick up a bow because I've done so much of that I just didn't want to do it again for another playthrough, I guess. Let's see. And then after I got through Helgen with the Unbound quest, I went to Riverwood. I wish, especially on multiple playthroughs, that the whole beginning scene where you run in and you talk to either the blacksmith or, the lumberjack's wife, whoever, whatever that whole story is. I wish you could skip that part after you've done, at least one playthrough, because I kept sitting there listening to that, and I think right after they got through talking, I said, well, time to take a break. And that's really what kind of hampered my progress the entire time, was just all the dialogue I had to go through again. So, but okay. So in Riverwood, while I was there, before I left, I went ahead and talked to the store owner to start the Golden Claw quest. That way, when I went to Bleak Falls, I could just knock everything out at one time. So, went up, did the Golden Claw stuff, and my entire way through Bleak Falls Barrow, I was sneaking, and that's usually what I do with every playthrough. Is my speed through a dungeon is just sneak speed. I just crawl my way through them. A, so I don't miss stuff. B, especially this playthrough, to improve my sneaking level to make pickpocketing a little easier down the road, which I know a lot of that's just going to come with trial and error of just actually doing it. So snuck through there, did the claw thing, got the dragon tablet at the end. Now, I didn't take notes of what was in the chest for me at the end there, and after hearing everybody else, I kind of wish I would have. But I can't remember what, if anything, I used or kept out of it. So finished that up, went back, turned the claw back in, made a little gold for that, and then started working my way towards Whiterun. Now, I got to Whiterun. I didn't turn in the quest before the storm yet, because I know as soon as I do, it's going to start the whole, there's a dragon out here, we're getting attacked dialogue, and I just wasn't ready to start that just yet. So I'll go up and sit through that dialogue here pretty soon. Oh, I did choose the Warrior Stone at the stone hickey when you walk by to help with the two-handed. And I think that's just about everything that I've got. Like I said, I hadn't really played a lot of it. I got pretty much the main quest knocked out, and just that was about it. My plans of, farting around and doing some side stuff got kind of postponed with the holiday here, but I'm looking. I talked to Andrew about re-rolling, I guess, my secondary follower, which was Suseth, which is the vampire dog. And I talked to him about re-rolling that because I haven't played the DLC yet, period. My Xbox playthrough, I didn't have the DLC. I got it on the PC and haven't played through any of it yet. So I still have my main Khajiit that I'm wanting to work the DLC and stuff through first before I just run into, the Dawnguard expansion and grab this vampire dog or whatever it takes to get it and jump back out and not know what's going on or where to find it, etc. And be able to go through the first time in the DLC and really go slow and just enjoy all of it. So, like I said, I'm going to re-roll with him for a new secondary follower. And I think that is everything I got here. But I'm looking forward to playing through a little bit more on this character and leveling up some two-handed. I also didn't take notes as far as, what each level I've put into, or how many, how many health points do I have, stamina, etc. I guess this next time I'll take better notes before we record again. But that's all for me. Thanks, everybody.
Hey, this is Keith calling in for my Roundtable character update. I did follow Hadvar into the Helgen Keep and picked up the light armor. I was able to attain on the way out. Of course, I found the normal potions and ingredients in there. I did kill the little bear in the corner that was sleeping. I want his claws for potions and his pelt. Then started to make my way out of the Helgen and walked out into Skyrim. and started picking my ingredients and headed towards Ambershard Mine. Picked up that torch to the right of the entry. There's some iron right there after the rock trap on the left. Got that. Cleared that area out, and also some mine, some iron over on that cage right on the left, past the cage on the right. There's pretty good chest looted over there. Got the iron over there. I always like carrying torches around. I'm sure a lot of you do, but see, I left the mine there. Headed towards Riverwood. Did a couple little things over there. Met some people in the city, and then I started walking towards the Right Run and collected some ingredients around White Run. Crossed the river towards the farms. Collected the wheat in the areas over there. There's 2 little farms got a good bit of wheat. I think there's 8 or 9 bales of wheat you can collect over there for some alchemy ingredients. Where I go. Then I walk my way up to the Markoff Stables. There's a quest I like to do over there, delivering some dog food to a lady on a score keep. But first I go to the Hag's Cure. There's a stallion potion that she wants to deliver. So I get that so I can knock out 2 little quests at a time. I think both those pay a total of $500. So I do those 2 little things. Then I think I wandered down to the abandoned house. I was going to use it for storage, but unfortunately I got in there. I killed the dude in there. Went down to get the rusted mace, or I think it was mace, and come back up. And was going to start putting some storage, and I was going to go outside, but I could not open the door. I was locked in the abandoned house. But luckily for me, I did do a quick save outside the door. So therefore, my plans of using the abandoned house for storage for right now is unfortunately not going to work. So I do have the Prosper Manor. I think it is 25,000 gold to attain that. That's going to be a little ways away from me. But we will get it. Anyway, after the abandoned house, I went to the Hag's Cure. Once you go in there, after you have delivered the stallion potion, all those ingredients that was marked steal before is now marked take, except for a few of those items in there. So I suggest maybe doing a quick save before you start snatching stuff, because the lady in there, forget her name, but she would nudge you around sometimes and accidentally grab something that said steal. Then I returned back to White Run, pick up my father, Janisa. She's at the Drunken Huntsman. Got her before we went to Bleak Forest Barrow. But before that, we stopped into the Fort Greymore. I was getting attacked. I don't know. I think I had 4 or 5 Imperial soldiers around me. I was getting whacked around pretty good. My power was less than halfway. I hit that Hiskin power, and within a few seconds, I was back to full power. And the thing about the Hiskin power is you can continue to do your attacks while your power was raising, which I thought was pretty cool. But I was back to full power with that, and they was still whacking. I mean, I did not notice any health at all being taken from me. So me and the follower, we whacked. I think it was 9 or 10 bodies I counted after everything was said and done with those guys in there and gals over there. And we walked up there to the fort, cleared out some, got some ingredients in there and some potions and some gold, of course. And I think we went, where we go next? Sorry. Oh yeah, then we went back to Riverwood, and I sold stuff that I had equipped and what I equipped her with, sold all those items out. Then we took on a journey to Falkreath. I want to do the house up there, Lakeview Manor House, eventually. And this character I have going, I'm going to get my Roundtable house first. But I went and started in the quest that Jarl wants. He wants you to get some Blackbeard mead for him and a few other things. Clear out a fort, a bandit cave, something. So if you're not aware of it, you can go across from his house into Lode's house, and he has 2 or 3 on a little end table there. There's a black beer meads, and so I stole those, snuck back out, and then I headed up towards the bandit area and killed the main bandit leader. Come back, and he's granted me. Now I will have, once I do have the cash, the coins, I will be able to get Lakeview Manor started, but that'll be a ways away. Then we traveled back towards Bleak Falls, and we started up a mountain. Then I kind of realized that she's not able to climb a mountain like I was, so I had to go back down and get her. Went the long way, but everything was kind of normal through there. I got some ingredients, some potions, some gold. Cut a bunch of people in there. Got the Dragonstone and a Golden Claw, and we finished that off. The fights with my Janessa follower, she's pretty strong. I'm having fun with her right now. She's actually taking out more people than I wanted to, because I like doing that, of course. But we left out of Bleak Falls, and we went down, walked the way up towards White Run. We're just kind of parked right now for now until everybody gets their updates in and podcast is released. But right now, I'm at level 7. I think it's 1,400 gold. My found destinations is 18. My days passed is 23. Chest looted 49. People killed 52. Undead 17. Animals killed 15. My restoration is 22. Smithing is 21. Heavy armor 25. One hand is 28. Archer is 29. Lockpick is 29, and sneak is 32. Anyway, I hope everybody's enjoying this, and I think I've gone too long, but sorry about that. Hope everybody's having a fun time, and I look forward to doing my next update next time. Thanks. Later.
Hey everyone, it's Yana. Unfortunately, I couldn't make the Skyrim Roundtable recording last weekend, so here is my update on my male orc Rogdul Bullarg, who is focusing on smithing, alchemy, and illusion. I've decided to do something a little bit different this week, and it's more of a storytelling than just me rambling on and on and on. Well, okay, I'll still be rambling on and on. 21 days have passed, and Rogdul still can't believe what he saw in Helgen. Rogdul was always a puny boy, and he developed a little later than the other orcs. This always plagued him. He was always interested in reading his books, but for a while he gave this up to train, and train hard he did, almost killing each guy or girl he'd battle in camp. He's only a young orc, and he was granted permission from the elders to leave his tribe to find his own in the world. He's traversed the map high and low, swam for miles, and hiding out from killer frost spiders. They seem to really love coming after Rogdul. It's annoying. He met an orc woman, different than the ones he'd known in his tribe. The women in his tribe enjoyed alchemy or stabbing things with what Rogdul likes to call their puny daggers. But this orc, she wielded a sword and shield. To gain her attention, Rogdul fought her dad in a fistfight. After tiring him out, he defeated him, and he was welcomed by all the tribe's people. He later found out that she was promised to another soon-to-be chief in a tribe far away, so, minding his own business, he respected the orc tradition. He'd only heard murmurs in his younger years about the Daedra and the games some of them enjoyed playing. Morality is something Rogdul still struggles with, and Molag Bal truly tested him. It was the first time he'd ever murdered a man, and Rogdul felt something come over him when he decided to strike down that priest. The mace he was granted strikes fear in the hearts of even the toughest of men, and Rogdul likes this sweet reaction. He's never had anyone look at him in fear. He's always been the go-to person, the intelligent person. It's kind of like almost always been a target for bullies. He looted the abandoned house, but decided to leave it untouched once he left. Markarth created such a grand impression when he first entered, from murder in the streets to the Dwemer architecture, that he's decided to make this his home. After killing out the Forsworn around the city, he befriended a few of the villagers. He likes to talk to the people in the inn. He's rented beds there for the night. He just likes to be part of the community. To earn coin, he smiths and he helps out in the mine just outside. One of the Debella priestesses have caught his eye. He's intrigued by her mystic. Rogdul has always been oblivious to conventional beauty. As he's lost his eye and he's gained scars all over his body, he believes the more crevices in a face, the better the story the person has to tell. This woman was different and plays on his mind as something to discover maybe a little bit later. By befriending the Markarthians, he's gained the trust of Jarl Igmund, who sent him on a quest to find a shield that belonged to his father. The trip was short, encountering his first saber-tooth. Really funny because I was on this trip, swam across a river, was walking, and it was quite boring, and I thought nothing interesting was going to happen. Not too proud to admit that Rogdul may have ran to the closest mine and had a guard and a villager help him in the fight. Once that was done, he walked up the mountain toward where the shield was said to be. Some bandits tried to overwhelm him, one using fire, the others with swords. With a cheeky sneak hit with an arrow, he caught the attention of one far away, but they found themselves on the wrong side of Rogdul's battle axe. Disappointed by the fight, until a Hargraven appeared. The fight was long and tiresome, many arrows were used, while Rogdul and the Hargraven healed themselves. Rogdul decided enough was enough. He wielded his battle axe, ran up to the Hargraven and just hit her, and continued to hit her. His weapon lost charge, and at that point I didn't think he had any more soul gems on him. Later finding out that he did. The battle axe is actually enchanted with fire. So he continued to hit her, and after the witch was healing herself again, just hit, and with a final swing she was dead. Finally, after a short break and a munch and a sweet roll, Rogdul was able to kill another bandit who was oblivious to the commotion. Success. Rogdul was now in possession of the shield, as well as some gold and quite a few alchemical ingredients. The Jarl of Markarth was so pleased with Rogdul's work that he granted permission to buy in the city. Windrel Hall was now his, and what an exciting time this was. She is a beauty. Spacious but cozy, without natural light, fire to warm him, and bookshelves, so many bookshelves. Rogdul has collected some 50 or so books, and it was a delight to be able to display them. They have just been crowding up his inventory so much. He decided to christen his storage with the mace from Molag Bal, and with that he was back on his way to adventure. This time, he was after the Golden Claw. When he had first arrived in Riverwood, he met the Valerius siblings arguing about a stolen item. Finally felt ready to face the undead. Wouldn't be the first time he'd encountered such enemies. I've been through vampire attacks in the streets, vampire attacks out in the middle of nowhere. I've seen them attack poor, farmers and just people everywhere. He now often uses fear and muffle. With the Loverstone active, a grant in extra experience in all his skills has proved to be vital. Strong and intelligent, Rogdul was on his way to Bleak Four Barrows. His biggest challenge was something he hadn't anticipated, and for the first time, we encountered a frost troll. He didn't know how to deal with this. And playing on Master, the sight was even scarier than the poltergeist happenings in the abandoned house. He tried to sneak past, but failing that, he ran right into a bandit. Killed the bandits and laid low for a while before continuing his journey to Bleak Four Barrows. After fighting through bandits, he was delighted with the amount of treasures he found inside, until he encountered a wounded frost spider. Giant wounded frost spider. Rogdal's archery was at a respectable level and defeated the beast. After some deceit and another killing, the golden claw was his. But what's this? Just around the corner, another frost troll, WTF. This time he had no choice but to stand up to it. He didn't want to run away. After some time, the troll was dead, Rogdal dealing more damage than he thought was capable. He came to a wall with some markings, and after studying the claw closely, he realized it was the clue to get past. And with that, his first word wall was found, though Rogdal is still unsure what this means. His last battle was with one of the Droga lords. Realizing he needed more help, he activated his power for the first time in 21 levels, the Berserker Rage. Because I've never played an orc before, I've never actually used this. By taking half damage and doing double damage for 60 seconds, he was able to defeat the Lord. Feeling proud, he returned to Riverwood, befriending the Valerius siblings, taking all their gold, taking anything he could, looting their chests, and he made his way back to his home for some rest. Having read over 70 books, his quest to be one of the most well-read orcs is something he feels he can achieve. Rogdal has completed over 30 miscellaneous quests and currently sits on 4,000 gold, after having paid for his house and an upgrade. His smithing is still quite low, sitting around 40, but illusion has been greatly increased to almost 70. Using a combination of illusion destruction potions that he's created and his trusted battle axe, close quarter battle is his favourite. Usually starts with a bit of sniping if he feels he'll be too overwhelmed, but also enjoys the feeling of killing a foe without them knowing what was coming. And that is my update for the past week and a bit. Hope you enjoyed. See ya!